Before the topic of today, I want us to do a very short exercise so that will take us to what we have for today. I want the secretariat, the IT, take us to the schedule of today before the topic. Let me have the schedule. The roster, let me have it. I have a question from this, and if you get it right, we will thank you. But I don't have a gift to give you. And this exercise, the secretariat, okay, the people in IT will be exempted so that they will not do expo. I think we're all seeing the schedule for today, right? I have a question. Why do you think we do this schedule? What is the implication? Okay, let me put it. What is the implication if we did not do this schedule? If you just know it, let's just signify by your hand. Then I will Bravo Biora. Give him my fast. Why this?
Everything will be in order.
No. We do it, everything they already do it, is not. But why? There's a reason. It still is a reason. Why? There's something that you are trying to avoid. That why you do this. Bruh. Okay, let me try our son leader. No, son leader first.
So that there will not be confusion.
Okay, so there will not be confusion. Let me hear another person there. That's right. Okay, that is your answer. Now you pass on to her. Okay. The reason for this is true, there will not be confusion. There will not be confusion. Or there will not be rule confusion. And the real word there, that there will not be crisis. Are we together? Because immediately confusion starts. The next thing is what? Crisis. And crisis, it lead to argument. Argument can lead to fighting. And before you know what's happening, everywhere is what? Is in total disarray. This is very, very key. Another thing that is very, very instructive there in this roster, and I wish someone can help me point it out. It's just a point. This roster you are seeing, there is something that is very, very important that make everybody, you accept it. Me, I have to take, everybody here have to take this challenge. There's something that make it very, very important. Please, if you know it, point it out. Okay, let me try Brother Frank.
It is for everybody to prepare for their assignment.
No. Yeah, there's something that is in that. There's something, both these things, there's something that make it very, very important. It becomes like a 1 year law. Give me a mic.
Our work is to guide the developer and see, I think the work the kind of reminder. Reminder.
Really?
The reminder.
No. It's not a reminder. Let me hear from Dr. Frank Country.
What is the sign off?
Sir?
It is signed off by the third secretary and also.
I'm okay. I'm just, that make it become a law. The sign off At the base there, church what? Secretary. That church secretary is now making like what? If you violate this, you have violated church what? Church decision. Assuming you just do it like that, there is no, that church secretary is not there. It's like as good as what? That church secretary, they want to make it like technically become a law. Because all of us know church secretary, right? Brarube don't come out for here. You know, when we say church secretariat, sometimes you may just call it. If we are having a minute, if we want to have a meeting, possibly next week, before the meeting, they will say, let's listen to minutes from the last or from the previous meeting. From who? From the secretariat. And who are the secretariat? Secretariat are just brethren or people that the church give authority. Say, do you know what? All of us cannot be doing a meeting. Brother Frank is writing. Brother Sam is writing. Brother Joseph is writing. Everybody is writing. The next previous meeting, which meeting are we going to read? If all of us in a meeting, all of us write minutes, it means that from year to year we will only be doing meeting. Because we will be right, you will read your own, I'll read my own. And by the time we finish, everybody read his own minutes. There will be confusion. The confusion is, Brother Frank may pick some things in the minute. It may be more detailed than me. But we already, if we have done them as what? As minutes, then there's bound to be a confusion. And to avoid that confusion, that is the reason the church said, you know what? Let us have a secretariat and have one person who will help us to take notes of our deliberation, and at the end of the deliberation or conversation or meeting, it will be documented. And in order for us to continue to pursue that peace, even before the next meeting, they will say, read the previous what? Minute, right? After the previous minute, the church will ask, do you have contribution? Do you have omission? Do you have, the question will come up. Some people will say, oh, there is an omission. You make that omission known. The church will integrate that. There is correction. You make it known. The church will what? Will integrate that. We are pursuing one thing. That thing is what? Peace. Avoiding crisis. Now, to today's topic. There is nowhere in the world, if you did not abide by that, you end up solving problems from 1 minute to the other, 1 hour to the other, 1 day to the other, 1 week to the other, 1 month to the other, and from year to what? Year. You end up having problem to be solved. And that is the importance of us looking at to this topic, because it is extremely very, very crucial. The more we run away from such environment, something, the more we continue to have problems. The topic, you can come up with the topic. The topic of our today conversation is no other than the beauty of rules to man. I don't want to use the word important. I deliberately use the word beauty. That is the niceness, the uniqueness of rule to man, to you. Because if I take you back to the picture that I paint, or what I brought up, If we come to the church today without even the secretary announcing the roster for today, all the schedule for today, all of us enter here, there will be what? There will be problem. Why there will be problem is, imagine that church want to start. We don't know who is going to lead today's service, right? We don't know the teacher. We don't know the ceremonial. We don't know who's going to stand for Lord's Supper. We don't know who's going to stand for giving. That is an atmosphere for what? For confusion. That will be an atmosphere for confusion. And that is the reason the Bible, in the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 14 down to 15, Paul knows the importance. Paul knows the importance of guiding how you program things, projects. And that is the reason he tells us that in case he tarry, because the church that we have, we are all members today, is the what? Is the pillar and the ground of what? Of truth. I want to see the text, Brother Tosi. The church is the pillar. That is this thing right unto thee, hoping to come unto thee shortly. Verse 15. But if I tarry long, Paul is very, very critical here. He said, I need to quickly come. But should in case something happen, maybe although that time there is no traffic, it's not Lagos that you say there is what? There will be traffic. But he wrote to them that if he tarry, that thou may what? Thou may know how thou ought to behave thyself in the house of God, which is what? The church of the living God, the pillar and the ground of what? He said, one, the church is the church of what? The living God, not the church of what? Of a dead God. But one thing that very, very important, you and me must know how you ought to what? Behave thyself. Church is not a place whereby you can just do anything that you want, you like. That's why Paul wrote to Timothy, and he wrote to every one of us. That one thing that is very, very important in your life, in my life, as a Christian, you must know how you ought to what? Behave yourself. You must know how you ought to conduct yourself. That you must study. Before you go to the other passage of the scripture, Saint Timothy, he says, study to show yourself approved unto what? Unto God. A workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly what? And he divide the word of truth. But here the scripture, what our emphasis is what? Because the church is the pillar and the ground of what? Of life, of hypocrisy, of confusion. He said the church is the pillar and the ground of what? See, if this building that we are today, how many pillars do you see in this building? Tell me how many pillars you see. You say what? How many pillars are in this building? No, correct. I was just trying to test you. But I say how many pillars you see? You say 4, no problem. But how many pillars are in this building? It get many pillars. This thing there is one here. If you don't know it. There will be one, that beam that go there. There is a pillar from that side. Go down. And what is the extent of those pillars? Is to avoid crisis. Because imagine that this place is built without pillar. We can be in this very place and you say the building what? Building what? The building come down, the building collapse. Because you need to give assurance to everybody. That's the reason you say, okay, this house is going to carry weight. And the weight that the house is carrying is actually what we call dead weight. Are we together? This house is carrying dead weight. If brother is not going to, okay, let's say apart from this side, that will be coming here for one thing or the other. The teacher, the son leader, person they officiate on Lord's Supper and giving and the rest of them. That few time they will leave that place and come here. Apart from when someone say he want to go and ease himself, some of us you'll be where you are till the end of what? Closing. Are we together? As far as we are concerned, at that very time that you are in one place, that is what we call dead weight. You get my point? That is what we call dead weight. I'm not saying any of us is dead. No. That is, you are static. You are in one place. So your weight is in what? Is in that very place at that very particular time. Because you know it's going to carry dead weight, this chair will only be here forever and what? And ever. Except the chair. Maybe, even though if it break, we take it away and what? And we replace it. The pillar you are saying is taking what? All the things that we, apart from the roof and the rest of them. So the Bible is not telling us that this church that we all of us is, it should be what? The ground and what? And pillar. Not to carry dead weight, not to carry any other thing, but what? To carry what? Truth. It means that this is not where you will be coming. And I say, okay, if I come here, I will, before anything, I will call the preacher, call Brother Frank Country, call Brother Sam, call Brother Frank, and tell them and say, please, you see, that issue, let us do A, B, C, D. It is no longer the church. Because you are uttering that the church being the pillar and the ground of what? The ground of truth. Because why it is that there is rules. Because rules help us to avoid what? Crisis. Rules help us to do away with confusion. And anytime we tamper with them, then we are bound to face the consequence of thereafter. Therefore, brethren, the beauty of today's assignment or teaching is for you to know, for me to know, that there is beauty in us. Abide by what? By rules. Especially those rules that always help us. Those rules that always help us to have a crisis-free life, a decent life. And I do tell people, there's one thing that is very, very important or very unique about crisis. When I have crisis, it's going to sip my energy together. It sip my energy to face that crisis. It sip my time to face that crisis. It sip my commitment, or that prevent me from many other things. And not only that, currently with a miracle period, it will not take your resources. Are we together? But one thing that this is the mistake that we do make. This is the mistake that we do make. We only look at the finance. Say this thing is chopping my what? My money, right? But you did forget the biggest money that the crisis is taking. Any crisis that you are spending money on, there is another the biggest money, the huge money that is taken. And that is the reason you must always ensure you follow rules, play by the rules, lay down rules to avoid that. Because if a crisis will cost you 50,000 naira, as you assume, you may be shocked that in real calculation, that crisis can cost you, it's actually costing you more than 5 million or more than 10 million. Are we together? What you only calculate is what? The amount. If it's something that involves hospital, if it's something that involves police station, if it's something that involves traveling to go and resolve some issue, you only look at it and say, oh, this thing is making me to travel from Lagos to Ebonyi, from Lagos to Ogun State, from Lagos to Accra, Ghana, from Lagos to Cameroon. Is that not the calculation that we have? We do make, that is a mistaken calculation. Another mistaken calculation is, oh, effort, you are putting energy. Oh, Brasam, oh, you go to Ikotu to go and meet a preacher so that you go with. Is that it's taking your energy, right? It's taking much of your energy. But those are not actually the real cause of crisis. What I mean by the real cost, as in COST of crisis. Do you know the biggest cost? The biggest cost so far, and that would be the reason why you must play by the rule and avoid crisis. Crisis will sip your time. Are we together? Crisis take your time. Do you know how it take your time? Things that you need to do that would have give you what? Money. You know you are spending money, right? To resolve those crises. The money you're supposed to go and making best use of your time. The crisis are what? Have withdraw your attention not to do that. If I'm supposed to go and help to where they are building a house, and when I finish that very day, they go pay me 15,000 naira. There is crisis. I am spending 20,000 naira, right? Out of the money that I save. I am not making that money that I'm supposed to make that day because I don't have the time to go and make what? To go and do that particular assignment. So you now look at it that why you must necessary study the rules and play by it and follow the truth in all ramification is what you are going to what? You are going to lose. You must follow, you must calculate it. I was discussing with our preacher before I say something. Our preacher said, Joseph, why do you want to be a prophet of doom? I said, no, it's not a matter of prophet of doom. I said, if A, B, C did not happen, this is what we should prepare for. And by God's grace, God forbid that we should neglect that. It's like a person that is You're supposed to do a particular thing, you decide or mistakenly not doing it. Don't know that there is consequence of what? Of you not doing that particular thing. And that's the reason you must always do it. So back to what we are saying. The reason why we can sit down comfortably, because we are extremely very sure. We are like 200% sure that, oh, the people who look at this structure and putting it in place, they know that this structure is not for one day, it's not for 2 days, it's not for 3 days, it's not for what? 1 year. Although the building is, these are buildings stay on what? We continue to do maintenance. But I know that I think we have serious construction end almost more than 7 years ago, right, preacher? Despite that, you still see that constant what? Things have to be done, because what we're just doing is, those who are builders, they tell you what? The rules, what you must what? You must do. But we can destroy this building by what? Let's assume maybe we no sweep here like 1-2 months, right? They should not be sweeping this place 2 months. Before you know what is happening, it becomes a problem. Let's assume 2 months we should not even come here to worship. You may be surprised when you come here, the building will what? Will be cracked. The building will crack. You'll be seeing a lot of things. You may even come here. You come and see a lot of rodent that doesn't pay rent. They will be staying in what? In this place. Even down there, if there's any small hole and there's any snake that is passing through this side, say, there's nobody in those rooms. There's no need for, it's not good for something not to occupy the room. Snake will go down what? It will go down, find a way to enter and what? And enter the room and be what? And be living there. When the snake want to chop, he find his way out, go chop and what? And come back there and say, no, it's not good for this place not to be occupied. What am I saying? We should always make all effort to follow through with what? The dictate of how to avoid some of those crises. Let's move further. In the book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, read. Therefore, all things whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to what? To them. This is another rule. If you sabi to the insult people, what are you actually saying by this rule? What are you saying? Is it what? You want others to insult you. I was in a place not quite long. A young man was insulting an elderly person. And the man was just standing. So when Yaba, the man was just standing, looking at the young woman, just reading a lot of curses on the man. A guy was just passing. The guy did not only insult, help the man. And the man no send the boy, you say, this guy that insulted me, help me to insult and back. The man no, he no even call up. We just see that the guy just, oh. So now this old man, now you dey insult like this, before you know what's happened, the guy raised up his hand and slapped the mouth that the lady was using to what? To insult the elderly man. And every one of us was there. In fact, one man was there, God don't catch you. One man that was. No person questioned the guy when he was going. It's only one man that sister said, God don't catch you. I think don't insult this man says. The man not even do anything. Now, what am I saying? that whatever you want people to do to you, be equally what? Do it unto what? The lady was insulting an elderly person. You know, concern the guy that was going, but you just feel that it's not normal. Though I'm not supporting what the guy equally do because it's an assault. But what we're saying is, but true, when the guy when they hit on something from mouth, the mouth come pause. He did not utter a word again, blow out. Because when he look everybody, more than 7 people standing. Nobody asked the guy to stop. If to say that guy wants to give another one, he feel that it's as if we all approve the slapping of his mouth. Now they get just on our own. Waka jejeje, they what? Continue to go away. And one elderly person there, he say one thing. He say, no man this lady. That is how he do insult her parents at home. Then the other one answer, that is if at all he has parents. Are we together? So what we're saying is, there are some things that are like, how do you call it? It will just be playing along. That if you disrespect an institution, you disrespect the church, you disrespect your community, you disrespect your family, you disrespect your parents, just name them. Just wait. The circle will be what? Will be coming. And that's why the Bible is telling us that we need to be what? Extra careful. That whatever you want other people to do to you, do it under what? Because it's like you are sowing a seed. It's like you are sowing a seed. And that's the reason we say the Bible told us that the church is the pillar and the ground of what? Of the truth. And the church must be able to speak the truth to every member. You see a situation whereby someone will tell you, say, well, you know, my challenge is that's my nature. You are a wicked human being. Are we together? I am doing something wrong, and I tell you that is what? That is my nature. That is wickedness of the highest order. Because it only show that I am not ready. I am not planning to what? To change tomorrow. Oh, yes, I do tell you, good, very good. It is your nature, right? Because it's your nature, that's why they now make you the CBN governor, right? But that thing is what? Is profiting you. It is your nature, that's why they now say, okay, Joseph, because that is your useless nature, come and be governor. Are we together? I must sit down and say whatever I want to do. Based on, because I am a member of what? Of the church. The church where truth is being what? Spoken to everyone. Oh, people are doing this. I must not what? I must not do that. Imagine seeing a brother. Okay, let's say Brother is passing through my street. He now saw that me and person they do upper court and lower court. If he use style dodge, follow the other side so that they will not see him and say, "Hey, Brother, will come and see you or what?" Eh? Where is Brother? They will say, "Come and see your brother." I do tell my work. I do talk to some of our people. You know, there's one thing that some journalists in Nigeria, they are so wicked for. Very wicked. Joseph fought. Simple, right? Joseph do something wrong. No problem. If they want to write, capture the news. Joseph, the in-law of former President Jonathan, do so what? Wetin concern what? Wetin concern Jonathan? And that man is in Otoke. He didn't know that I've done something wrong. Where what? In Lagos. It's just for attention. You will not be assuming, if the person is related to president or former president, he's not supposed to what? Do this thing. The same thing goes if they want to capture that kind of thing, that they are saying that Joseph and someone is doing upper court in prosperity Okiafa. Joseph Folorunsho, members of Church of Christ is solo. Is it what? Okay, Joseph, member of Church of Christ is solo. That very good friend to Obiago who living. So they mention the street. Was seen fighting in what? Obiago will just see it in the paper or hear it in the news. And other people that hear Obiago, they will not even call me. They will call Obiago, what happened that your brother is what? Is fighting. Just because my misbehavior is now rubbing on him what? Badly. There was a time one of our brothers, a member of Church of Christ, okay, so that you understand it, a member of Church of Christ in my village, for the purpose of the teaching. No, I live in town or city. So this brother have an affair with a lady, and it lead to what? Pregnancy. Our preacher was summoned to the local court. When the lady say, come and explain how manage the member of your church pregnant a woman. The man was helpless. How is he going to explain? Preacher, imagine I will just come preacher now, you should come and explain. Because the haters say, oh, they say they attend or what? Because let's look at it. It could be true. Maybe they assume that the church actually what? Failed to caution the man very well. It could be a way of, so that the church will not say, in that case, so at we need to look for solution to this kind of issue so that it will not happen again. So what am I saying? We need to be what? Extra careful in whatever we do. Because we should know that here, the church, we have our own rules and regulations, which is big. We guide ourselves in all our behavior through the scripture. We equally have the law of the land that equally what? Help to supervise shaping what we are doing here. Therefore, as a Christian, you must endeavor to what? To study those laws, whether the law of the land or what? Or the scriptural guideline. Because if you don't do it, if I don't do it, whatever I do did not only rub on me, but it rub on what? On the entire church. Let's look at the book of Luke. Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And the last person, you just quickly open to Romans chapter 8, where we end today's lesson. In Luke chapter 6, and as ye would that men should do unto you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinner also love those who what? Who love them. Here the Bible is just telling us. There are something that you assume you are doing, even unbelievers they do it. Right? Unbelievers do it. But we must do something that is unique. Something that actually make us to be a peculiar and special what? People. And those things that make us to be special people, a peculiar people, is our ability to what? To follow the guideline that help us. Yeah, recently, I think about 4 weeks ago, I was flagged by VIO, and they said we should go to their office. If you know Anthony very well, Ilukweju, when you are coming down, if you know those that know that VIO office, There is one way. It just between here and here. Just not up to, just very short. The man said we should follow ourselves, God. You are not going to. I think it's not possible. He said, what do I say? We should go and turn from Maryland and come to your office. And when we turn for that very place and get to his office, you know, the guy just carried my car and gave it to me. Say, oh God, they go. I said, no, let's go now. He said, you should be a dangerous person. What you have, because it's just the one way is between here and here. I told him, oh God, I don't, by God's grace, I don't like following one, because I know that he can do that, capture it, and show it to people and say, this vehicle follow one way. If they now say, oh, Joseph, were you on the car? I say, yes. I say, now officer asked me to follow one way. They say, no, you are an adult. Officer cannot ask you to violate the law, and you what? And you agree. And there's no way, I won't have any defense about that. What am I saying? Your ability for you to always ensure you follow laid down rules and regulation, it actually helps you. It doesn't help any other person than what? Than you. It helps you a lot, because you will be able to stand to defend yourself anywhere. And I equally talking to, someone was insulting me on Friday, although it concerns us. They say I say something. You know, my friend, she is having issue with government or with police. If you look at what police say, that the other people, the reason why they go arrest Showore was, the other people mention his name, that is the one that led them for protest. You cannot hold that in what? In any court, because these are adults. Are we together? There are some that are 50 years, 70, close to 70 years, 50. These are people that can take decision on what? On their own. And I told the other police, that's how they lose case. Are we together? If Bra Odogu go do something, say, na Joseph make me do am, oga, you go face your what? You go face your what? You go face your problem. You go face your problem. A woman slept in Panchi last week, Wednesday to Thursday. And when we go there, the woman said, he said, na my husband cause her. The police tell us, no problem. Your husband will go home. You will what? You will sleep in this very place. Say that tomorrow, when your husband asks you to do something, you will say, I am not what? I am not doing it. And what did the husband say? The husband tell and say, one of their friends, that the person is claiming that is his father, is not his father. This woman voiced it and put it on social media. And the guy saw it. He go meet police. He said, in fact, let me not lie. I was the one that do that case. I do the petition. I said, the only prayer that was on that petition was, please, my friend, mention his name, say, he has discovered by someone that the person is calling his father is not his father, so it should help him to what? Identify his real father. The woman slept. He's supposed to be in court or be in prison, but the guy decided to what? He said, my husband, tell her. The husband said, I did not what? I was shocked at the police station, and I see another, how do you call it? Peter, help me. Peter, how Peter deny what? Jesus Christ. The Oga Hassan, he said, madam, which time I tell you to make your voice. He didn't say, he did not tell him. He said, which time I tell you to make your voice and put them on social media. He said he was just saying something. He did not. The woman And when the man was going like this, and they were taking the wife inside cell, the man they do like this, the wife they look like they look at themselves, and the distance was going. This one was going to different room, this one was, until they disappear. The woman slept in the cell, and the man what? Slept. I don't know what will be going on now, because they don't release the woman. I don't know the kind of crisis that will be at home now. So I don't know, say now Peter, now I'm married, say not be what? Not be the other. Because the man see that, now me go enter this cell. But they say, tell us, madam, you go enter cell 1. He say, wetin be cell 1? He say, when you dey inside, you go know the meaning of what? Cell 1. What are we saying? You must be able to play by the rule. In Romans, as we close, Romans chapter 8, verse 31. Read us. IT. Where's our IT? Romans chapter. If you don't say, make anybody should read it for us then. Yes.
What then shall we say to this day? If God is for us, who can be?
No, Romans chapter. No, Romans chapter 13 now. Yeah. No, this. Okay. Yeah, Romans chapter 13, verse 3 to. He say, oh no man anything but what? But love. Love one another. For he that loveth another had fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit what? Adultery. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not what? Steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not convert. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as what? As thyself. Thou shalt not. That when you see all those, thou shalt not. If you don't do it to another person, you equally pray that nobody will do it unto you. What are we saying? What we are appealing to ourselves, brethren. As I know, and I do tell people, crisis is part of what? Is part of life. But you can avoid crisis by what? By playing by the what? By the rules. Play by the rules. Anywhere, anything you are doing, there's always a rule. There's also the guiding principle. If you don't follow it, your job prepare for what? For crisis. And if you like, pray every day that crisis should not come. The crisis must what? Must come because you have opened the door for it. And that is the reason Jesus Christ, before he left the earth, he told us in the golden prayer, Father, lead us not into what? Temptation. Did he say temptation will not be there? It means that temptation dey, but Father, don't what? Don't allow us to pass through that side. It is extremely very, very key. May God continue to bless what we have heard today in Jesus' name.